Throwing your content behind a paywall and waiting for the cash to roll in is no longer a guarantee of monetization. The creator economy has matured. Fans have moved away from passive browsing, and their spending habits reflect a desire for direct interaction. Yet, when it comes time to set up shop, most creators default straight to subscription-heavy platforms like Fanvue. They make this choice based entirely on brand recognition. Defaulting to a brand name without looking under the hood is dangerous. It locks you into a model that requires massive, continuous audience growth, pushing many creators straight into burnout. Choosing your platform based on a logo instead of its underlying architecture will artificially cap your income before you even publish your first post. Every creator faces a central trade-off. You have to choose between relying on passive scale or cultivating active depth. Passive scale is the industry standard. You offer low-friction monthly subscriptions, which means you need a massive volume of subscribers to piece together a livable income. This chart maps out exactly how audience size interacts with the depth of fan engagement across the industry. Subscription-heavy setups sit over here. They require high volume, but they only ask for low engagement depth from your fans. On the opposite side, multi-stream platforms like EarnOn sit in a totally different space. They require a fraction of the volume, but they demand high engagement depth. A platform's headline fee is secondary. Your true revenue potential relies entirely on matching the platform's tools to how your audience actually behaves. Succeeding on a subscription-first platform like Fanvue or OnlyFans requires a specific commitment. You have to produce a high volume of locked content. The reward for that commitment is predictable, recurring monthly revenue generated from a broad base of passive fans. But here is the first trade-off. To sustain that revenue, you have to build a continuous, massive top-of-funnel audience generation engine on social media. Second trade-off, subscribers inevitably churn. That forces you onto an endless content treadmill, constantly hunting for new fans to replace the ones who leave. Third trade-off, standard monthly subscriptions create a strict, artificial ceiling on your average revenue per user. You end up leaving money on the table because your superfans, the ones who would gladly pay for direct access, are blocked by that flat, single-tier monthly fee. Then we have to look at the financial impact of the platform's cut. The industry standard split is 80-20. Giving up 20% of your earnings does buy you recognized infrastructure and built-in consumer trust. These bar charts compare the standard 80% split against alternative platforms allowing up to 90% earnings. A 10% difference seems small, but compounds into massive revenue loss when selling high-ticket items like private calls. The trade-off for securing those higher margins is that you have to successfully convince your audience to pull out their credit cards on a lesser-known URL. While a 20% fee is accepted as the norm, it severely erodes your profit margins if your business is built on high-value, direct sales rather than sheer subscriber volume. This is where multi-stream alternatives come into focus. EarnOn is built specifically on this distinct architecture. It gives you multiple tools at once: pay-per-view, direct tips, private video calls, and real-time live streams. The core structural advantage here is high revenue density. You can monetize highly engaged fans from day one without waiting to build a massive following. But this model requires a different input from you. It demands active, synchronous energy and direct, real-time fan interaction. That intense, active energy is a sharp contrast to the passive nature of standard subscription platforms. You're trading the convenience of a passive feed for a dramatically higher financial lifetime value from each individual fan. Your final choice relies on what we call the scenario match. The best platform is dictated entirely by your specific business model. To find that match, you need to identify which of two distinct creator profiles you fit into. This flowchart maps out the decision pathway, starting with the primary question: what is your creator profile? Profile 1 is the scale creator. Your model relies entirely on broad volume. If you already command a massive audience and you prioritize passive income, standard platforms make sense. For Profile 1, a low-friction, subscription-heavy infrastructure like Fanvue is the optimal route. Profile 2 is the niche or service creator. This includes educators, fitness coaches, artists, and creators with small but highly dedicated audiences. Placing a Profile 2 creator in a subscription-only model limits their potential income. It prevents them from capturing the higher value that deeply engaged fans are willing to provide. If you fall into Profile 2, the multi-stream model is the superior structural choice. EarnOn is built precisely for this workflow. Combining one-on-one tools and direct tipping and a 90% payout allows you to build a highly sustainable business on a fraction of the fans. This approach focuses on targeted, high-yield business building instead of the exhausting, endless grind of audience generation. Selecting the right platform establishes a durable business architecture that aligns with your specific workflow. Rigorously audit your own content style and your actual audience size before you sign a long-term platform commitment. To maximize your income, stop defaulting to the biggest brand. Choose the tool that actually fits your trade.